Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today, a time of eclectic reading, sharing of perspectives, meditation, and prayer. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader of the newly joined Centers for Spiritual Living Communities of Columbia and Greater Baltimore. This morning is December 9th. Excuse me. And this morning I'm reading from Braiding Sweetgrass. Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teachings of Plants by Robin Wall Kimmerer. And so I opened it up, and page 115, 1, 2, 3, the fourth paragraph offers us this. Cultures of gratitude must be cultures of reciprocity. Each person, human or no, is bound to every other in a reciprocal relationship. Just as all beings have a duty to me, I have a duty to them. If an animal gives its life to feed me, I am in turn bound to support its life. If I receive a stream's gift of pure water, then I am responsible for returning a gift in kind. An integral part of a human's education is to know those duties and how to perform them. Stop. You're okay, Thor. Thor has something to say to the garbage truck outside. So what this offers me is a reminder of the kinship, of the inseparability of the unification of one. It reminds me of what Horatio Willis Dresser says I believe it's in the introduction to The History of New Thought, where he says that all justice must be social. And what he goes on to talk about is the importance of relationship and the importance of reciprocity. And when we really understand that there's only one thing happening here, reciprocity, for me, reciprocity became redundant. Right? There's no way for me to do or be anything that doesn't impact everyone else and doesn't come back to me. That's, karma, I think, is misinterpreted in Western culture. What I learned in ministerial school studying Eastern culture is that karma is simply talking about the tendencies, the conditioned thinking that is carried on from generation to generation. That's our karma. It's the repeated patterns, right? And so the reciprocity that we have is also our opportunity to heal those patterns. Because what heals here, heals there. What heals there, heals here. It is absolutely reciprocal. We get what we give. We receive what we give. We see reciprocity in nature, right? It rains and it evaporates, and then it rains and then it evaporates. All of life is based in reciprocity. And so maybe that is the clearest path, the simplest path to healing all of our thoughts of separation, is to begin with understanding the reciprocity. And then when we really get the reciprocity, that we close the gap to understand it's just the cycle of a one whole thing happening. No separation. Reciprocity is not that place where I give so I can get. That's not reciprocity. That's bargaining, and it's different. Reciprocity comes from a sense of ownership, a sense of kinship, a sense of duty, not from I have to, but from I get to. Because it is my responsibility, it is my duty, it is my honor. Yeah. So I'm going to read this paragraph one more time and take us into our time of meditation and contemplation. Cultures of gratitude must be cultures of reciprocity. Each person, human or no, is bound to every other in a reciprocal relationship. Just as all beings have a duty to me, I have a duty to them. If an animal gives its life to feed me, I am in turn bound to support its life. If I receive a stream's pure gift of water, I am responsible for returning a gift in kind. An integral part of a human's education is to know those duties and how to perform them. So let's take that into our time of meditation and contemplation. So in this moment, I recognize one power everywhere present, one substance self-existent. And by self-existent, I'm recognizing that it was created out of nothing. It simply has always been. And it is the source and the activity of all creation. And being self-existent, it has no beginning. And what has no beginning can have no end. Eternal. Nameless. Can never be contained by one name. And yet it is known by many. God, the great mystery, Allah, Christ, Christ consciousness, consciousness, the quantum field. By whatever name we know it, it is the very substance of our being. We each in form, regardless of shape, size, and label, are animations of it, inextricably linked by substance, each an individualized expression, expanding this infinite beingness, expanding its experience and expression of itself that we call creation. And so I know that all that it is lives, moves, and has its being as me. That all of this infinite oneness is the essence of my being. That all of it resides right here, and yet I, individualized, am never all of it. Because every expression of it comprises the whole of it. And so I recognize that I am a cell in an infinite, expansive, unlimited body. That I am a center through which the infinite expresses. Whether I call it the will of God or a desire of the infinite to express, it is the same thing. Creation creating, consciousness expressing. And I am a portal of that. And what is true of me is true of all creation. And so I claim and affirm an awakening to this kinship, to this reciprocity that is natural, that is spiritual and scientific law, that is the inseparable connection of creation. Moving into an awareness of intentionality, an awareness of ownership, an awareness of celebration. That we live, move, and have our being in full awareness of the reciprocity that every thought, every breath, every step, every action, every inaction that is an action impacts the whole. That we receive with the heart of reciprocity. That we give with the openness of reciprocity. That reciprocity becomes such a natural state of awareness that the very ideas of giving and receiving just melt into one. Inhaling and exhaling. Exhaling and inhaling. All part of the same cycle. and that we do so. We live this law of reciprocity in perfect balance, embracing, embodying the interconnectedness and the joy of duty to live as, to live the kinship and wholeness of one. Grateful. Grateful for the activity of law, that doer in the reciprocal process, the actor, the impartial, mechanical, making it happen aspect of the creative process has already received the impress, already received the belief, the desire, the passion of the words spoken, even before the words were formed in mind and spoken in voice, known in the heart and acted upon by law and made so. And so there's no waiting period, but simply an invitation to let go of all the limited thinking that blocks my experience of it, that in any way diminishes or distances or impedes my full experience of the Word made manifest. I let all of it go. And I open to all of the signs, to all of the invisible made visible, to all of the unformed coming into form, to catch my awareness, to prove principle. And so I choose to believe. I choose to see before I can see, to believe before I have evidence, knowing that it's already done. I let go of all of the qualifiers. I let go of all of the conditions. I simply step into this day, claiming, affirming, living what has already been made manifest. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amin. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.